Hello! So today we're going to be having a look at Pythagoras' theorem, something essential in GCSE maths, especially when we're getting into the nitty-gritty stuff like trigonometry. This theory, will come in handy. So when we're looking at Pythagoras' theorem, we're looking at something very specific. So we have the right angle triangle here. So this will be 90 degrees. Specifically, we care about the right angle triangle, and also what is opposite it. So this line here is very important. This is the longest length of the right angle triangle, the one that's opposite the 90-degree angle in this triangle. So this has a name for it. We call this the hypotenuse. And it's important to note this because it will come up a lot. People will refer to the longest length as the hypotenuse. So it is important to know what we're referring to here. So what Pythagoras' theorem essentially does is help us figure out how to find the hypotenuse. We do that by also naming these two sides. So we'll call this side, for now, we'll have this side as A, and then we'll also have this side as B, and then let's put this side as C. So what Pythagoras' theorem does is figures out how to find the hypotenuse, or C, by using the sides A and B. So the specific formula for this is, let's just write it out. So we have C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So what we have here is the formula. So it is C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So A being this side, B being this side, and then C being the longest length. So let's draw another triangle right here. So let's say that the length of A here equals 3, and then we have the length here of B equals 4. So with this information, we're going to try and solve for C, the hypotenuse. So let's just add the right angle here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug those numbers into the formula. So A, let's use a pen. So we have A equals 3, so we have 3 squared plus 4, which is B, 4 squared equals C squared. So what do we do here now? We figure out 3 squared. So you can use your calculator to do this, especially when we have bigger numbers. You'll probably need to use your calculator to be able to square. So 3 times 3, we've got 9. Then plus 4 times 4, 16 equals 9 plus 16. We work that out to be 25. So what we have here now is C squared, right? So how would we then solve it to find C? Because right now we have C squared, but what we're actually looking for is C. So how would we go about doing that? So what we would do is we would have 25 equals C squared, right? So we do the root of this to undo the square, and we would then have you obviously can do this on your calculator once again. We would have the number 5. And then we would have resolved this for 5. Yep. We will do this again using another triangle. So let's just get rid of all of this. So now let's try to resolve A or B, because although we can find the hypotenuse using this formula, we can also figure out B and A if we just rearrange the formula. So let's say we have another triangle, and let's draw the little right angle. So let's say we have C here, which we know equals 6. And then we have B here, which we know equals 3. Then what we want to do, actually let's make that 4. Then what we want to do is resolve A. Right? So how would we rearrange this formula? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So we know we have C and B. We want to isolate A. So how would we do that? We need to bring the B over to the side of C. So to do so, we would minus the B squared, and we would be left with C squared take away B squared leaves us with A squared on the other side. Yep. So using that rearrangement, let's try to solve this equation. So we have C, which equals 6, so 6 squared take away B squared, which is 4 squared, and then we'll be left with A squared. So let's do 6 times 6, which would be 36, take away 4 times 4, which would be 16, and then that would leave us with 20, which is A squared. Right. 20 you would have to do the square root of on your calculator to give you the answer for A. And that would give you the answer, the result. So not only can we solve for the longest length using Pythagoras' theorem, if we have the other 2 lengths, we can always use that to find the other one. So what I would like you guys to do is to solve a couple more of these and find the different lengths so that we use the knowledge that we just got. And if you have any questions or don't understand any part of the working out, please let me know and we'll go through it together. So I'll put a couple more examples here. So 6 centimeters. And remember that the hypotenuse is always the opposite from the right angle, and that's the longest length. We have 5 centimeters here. Eight centimeters here. Move that over to the side, and then for this triangle we will have 12 centimeters and 6 centimeters. So please try to resolve these using the formula on the top, and if you do get stuck, please let me know.